Okay. So as always, this will go on YouTube. You guys can catch it later. I'm gonna make a few points first before I start. There's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. When it comes to markets being totally emotional and irrational on the downtrend, you see these people come out. For those that are here and following me on Twitter, I use my Twitter for shit posting. So just to put that out there, okay? When it comes to me putting out content on YouTube and streams from here, these videos are for educational purposes only. All right. The amount of DMs, the hate messages that I've gotten, like I'm used to it, but there's gonna come a certain time where I'm just going to like completely crash out. I understand, like, people are emotional and markets are, again, going down, but for those that are watching, and like to fucking be keyboard warriors, cut the shit. Not worth my time. Now, let's get back into it. So, I'm not going to be going over all the things that I've been mentioning in previous videos, right? I've been bearish. I've been high time frame bearish on charts, on crypto. Low time frame, I was bullish last week. Definitely did not see that hack coming, and that hack changed the structure for a lot of coins. Um, and there's just nothing that you or I or the markets could do. It was just a shitty, unfortunate experience, and it just happened. So up until the hack, charts looked bullish. It looked like we wanted to break out and go to the upside in this range that we were in. ETH looked like it wanted to break out as well. Then the hack happened. Then ETH started pumping, and from experience, these last 3 weeks, whenever ETH has been pumping, we took a downturn in the markets. So let me go over Bitcoin and why I think that we are a little bit in trouble on a higher time frame, more than what we are currently. So let me go to a clean chart. Okay. So this was our range low level. Okay. And our range low level was 92.5. Now Binance and Bybit charts are a little bit different, but 92.5 was our range low level. And if we go to a line chart, okay, we see that structure-wise, right, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, double top here, right? We're about to have, well, yesterday actually, we put in our close below this higher low level, okay? There was our close. Now you don't see it on the line charts, but we haven't had a closure below that level, and that was our higher low level. So technically, that close did break our high time frame structure. Now, 3-day wise, 3-day wise, we can still close above 92.5K. We have a lot of work to do. All right. Weekly looks absolutely disgusting. So we need to get above this 92.5K within the next 1 day and 4 hours. Do I think it's possible? Sure. Right? Do I think it's going to happen? Unlikely. Now, I am looking to short the retest of the range lows if we get it. We just had the closure below. We retested it perfectly, technically, and turned it into resistance. So this is no longer an SR point, it is resistance. Taking shorts at that level does make sense. Now, if we were to go back to this range here, oops. So let's go back to this range and let's go to the 4 hour. So this was our highs, this was our lows, and this was the mid-range level. Now I can extend this a little bit. Okay. So we took out the lows here, right? We made the highs. Again, we swept the lows here on a daily. Okay. This daily swept these lows. Went back to these highs, SFP'd, okay, and then we turned the mid-range into resistance. That was a short trigger. Now this same scenario applies to here. We closed down below the the range low level. So that resistance touch was the same exact thing as what we had here. Now I expect this to be a hard level to reclaim. So until we put in a deviation and reclaim it, okay, I think that is a good shorting opportunity. So on a lower time frame such as the 4-hour, that is technically a supply zone. And let's make this, whoops. Let's make this yellow. Okay. So shorts around this level do make sense. I would probably start it at the candle body. So that is why I am shorting at that level. Entry, now this is the same exact chart that's giving in my channel. Okay, support, right? We lost it on a 4-hour. This is actually an SR point. So starting your entry there and DCA at the established resistance level and stop loss above does make sense. Okay, that's why I'm going to be shorting the level. Now, if you are an experienced trader, you can take this as a soft stop loss. So you can take it, if we reclaim this level, then you could manually close out your trade. This is a very, very tight invalidation. And I do think that until we get that reclaim, we should reject. And maybe we put in another lower high here and then continue the grind down. So shorting at that level does make sense. Now, everyone wants to long after a huge move down, right? Like I tweeted this, and not just from the server, but I've seen so many YouTube headlines, I've seen so many tweets that after a move down like this, people think the local bottom is in, and they keep saying bottom's in, only for it to keep dipping and dipping, right? You have to see strength. So like when you have a dip like this, all right, you can't see consolidation like that. You have to see consolidation and a slow grind up. I'm not talking about, like um, hours. I'm talking about like days of consolidation and then a slow grind up just like we did here, right? We had a move down, and then this took a slow grind up, and then yes, we came back down to test that level, but we need that to happen here. So it's not going to happen fast, although we want it to happen fast. We want to get back above that 92.5K level, but until that happens, okay, like it's not safe to go into swing longs or anything. Like we have to have major levels reclaimed first. So if you are playing against the trend, which that means longing, you have to go in it with a reduced position size. So if you normally allocate, let's say, $1,000 margin to a trade, go in with half of that or 2/3 of that. Don't go in with the same, because there is no clear-cut, confirmation that we're going to go higher from here. But shorting the pumps time and time again, whether it's an hour time frame, 4-hour time frame, has been proven to work. So shorting, you can go in it with that same $1,000 allocation, right? And that's what I've been preaching, right? Like this is a lower high season market, meaning every single pump up. You can't just pump, you can't just short randomly, but at levels of resistance, SFP, resistance, it makes sense to short. So this is why I'm taking the short here. And the second short that I am taking is going to be if we get a bigger move up and a reclaim of this level, we have this order block. Okay. And if I were to draw fibs from, I think I drew it from here. Okay. So the golden pocket lines up perfectly within the short area. Actually, where did I take this short? Let me give you. I took it from here down to here. The 786 fib lines up to there, and this is the second short that I'm taking. Now, this one might take a little bit longer, right? We also did lose this trend line here. So a bearish retest of the trend line does come around the golden pocket area, and that is also, it was previously the range low of this range here, so taking shorts there does also make sense. I'm just wanting to see the reaction from this golden pocket before getting into a short. That's why I didn't call it there. So there's multiple areas where you could take shorts, but the first level is going to be this range low retest, bearish retest point on the daily. Okay. Now the levels too long are simple. Okay, like when you're in between here with no strong levels of support, there is no strong thesis to long here. So the only level that I see longing are a sweep of these lows here, which is around 85.2k. If we are able to sweep those, just like we did, let's go back to this chart. Okay, just like we did here. Okay, we swept these lows. We swept these lows. Same thing. We need to sweep this low here, put an SFP, close above, then you can long with stops below whatever wick is created, and you're going to target back up to probably this here. If we start to form a range here, right, then you're going to play this range just like you would have played this range here. But it's too early to call anything. Now we can easily go and SFP these lows, right? Then you can take an SFP based on that trade, but the wick is way too further down to take a solid trade. So let's say we do SFP those lows. Okay, let me remove some of this. And these charts are shared in my channel. They're the same exact charts. So let's say we do go and SFP these lows here. We have to get above 89K basically within the next 4 hours-ish. If we do, then you're going to take a possible long and you're going to go to a lower time frame and place your stop loss. I wouldn't place it below that wick because that's just terrible risk management. So it'll be something like this if we're able to reclaim it. But I don't think we have the strength to push up an extra 1.2k from here within the next 4 hours. Okay. And then the final short that I have, which I don't see it happening anytime soon. Okay. I took fibs from here to the highs. Below this 85k level, there is literally nothing but free air up until this SR point, right? Resistance, resistance, we broke out, we never retested it. So there is a golden pocket area here. It's literally free fall if we can't hold this level. And we do have an order block down here, which is why I plan to long at that level. Now this will take some time. I do think eventually we will go and tag it, but it's always good to be prepared, and I'd rather be prepared than not and set my limit orders. All right. So that's what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. Now, this market, like I said, like I'm exhausted. A lot of people are exhausted. Those newcomers that came in after, the meme coin extravaganza, those people that were looking to make money or quick money are all gone. Okay, well, I hope they're all gone. All right, so it's a good cleansing of the market. Now, that being said, with all that money and liquidations gone, it does take time for money to enter the market again. Hopefully, meme coins are completely done. All right, like I've said it multiple streams, I've said it multiple videos. Meme coins were, sorry, the Trump coin started the hysteria and basically ended the market. Melania coin was the confirmation, was the kill shot. All right, I want all that shit gone. We can't have that shit. And stupid Nazi Kanye West is gonna come out with another meme coin, right? Don't buy it. Please don't buy it. If you do, then at this point, like, you haven't learned your lesson, and you need to, get financially ruined at this point. Stop buying these celeb coins. Okay, celeb meta is done. All right. We have to get back as an industry into utility coins and coins with actual potential in this space. All right. No more rug pulls and stuff like that. So my advice and suggestion to everyone is pick 1 to 3 coins and just trade those for the time being. All right. I see a lot of people having multiple positions in multiple different coins, whether it's Bitcoin or Sol or like shit coins like Mbox, whatever the fuck that is, right? Focused on strong coins that have reasonably um like decent PA, okay? Don't focus on low liquidity coins, all right? Worldwide, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Sherlock. Um, if you are able to master the PA at price action and, you know, understand how one coin moves, all right, you are able to then expand and trade other coins, all right? So right now, volatility is high with, for example, SUI, with Sol, with Bitcoin. Focus on coins with high volatility. Master that and then move on to different coins. You can actually make a lot of money trading one asset or one coin and just milking the profits, because then you'll understand where those levels are. You'll see those levels when you're taking a shower. You'll see those levels when you're sleeping, and then you're able to just know when to trade that coin and when not to trade. Wow, we are definitely pushing. So that's my suggestion to you. I would pick 1 or 2 coins and trade it. Like I said, volatility is there with Sol and Sui. I would focus on those coins, Bitcoin as well. But stay away from these meme coins and liquid coins. All right. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite stepsister, ETH. Okay. How do you plan to manage the LTC position going forward? I'm still in. We have an average of 124-ish. Oops. Yeah. We need to get above this level, but everything that is dependent on Bitcoin right now. So I'm still holding. I will alert when I'm gonna cut. Damn, we went down to 106. Okay, stepsister. Okay. So ETH closed the candle like this. We need to get above this level. Okay, we need to get above this level here. And then we will invalidate, like, this is going to be a bullish butterfly. So I would love for this to close like this. But again, ETH is just stuck in that range, okay? Get back above here, it's a deviation, right? We deviate back above, then I'm not saying we're out of the woods, but a deviation trade would look something like this, right? Close above, retest, and then here's your swing type trade. TP1, TP2. I mean, if you want easier TPs, TP1, TP2, TP3. Okay, I'll share this here in chats. But if we are unable to reclaim this level here, then, and we start going down even more, you're looking for one of two levels first, okay? So the first is a sweep of these lows here, that capitulation wick, okay? But we cannot lose this level. I'll draw it down just a little bit more. This support here at 2170-ish, let's call it 2170 down to 2100. We can't lose that. If we lose that, we're going to 1800. I made the market update video in my channel yesterday that explains why that $1,800 level comes into play. But we need to hold this level if we want to go higher. All right. Like I said, a daily close like this looks good. If we can reclaim the level, then yes, you can go ahead and long small position, because again, we're not out of the woods, but small position, TP1, TP2, and TP3. All right. Now, again, we are going to be in a lower high season market. So shorting around the mid-range level, this level here, does make sense to me. Maybe you can start your short a little bit around, yeah, maybe a golden pocket, and then stop loss above 786 fib. And I don't like the risk on that. Something like that. It's a tight risk, but you play the mid-range level. The other opportunity or short would be, yes, you short mid-range. DCA to 786 fib down to here. And then just like any other range, you short range highs until it fails. All right. Now we could easily go down and put a double bottom in. So a possible long attempt, okay, or another higher low would be something like that. Now this one's a little bit riskier. Use smaller position size on longs. Like I mentioned, we're fighting against the trend. Okay. ETH. All right. And everyone's favorite serial killer, Sol. So there's no surprise that Sol bounced from where it did, and it's having a harder rebound compared to the rest of the market, right? It took a huge beating over the last 2 weeks, but there's a lot of work to do for Sol to get back above, right? Back into this area here, actually this little supply zone is a short opportunity. Okay, my short at this supply zone is still valid. It's the same short that I have in my channel. I'm still going to take that if we get a move into it. We did break down on, okay. Now, like I said, study trend lines. Okay, we did break down this trend line, and we're about to have a 3-day close below. The last time we had a close below like this on a big coin that had a huge parabolic move was SUI. Okay, here's the 3-day chart. Here's the trend line. Here's the close below. What happened? We went a little bit further down. All right, now, even if we close back above here, any retest or bearish retest of this trend line is a short. So the first one comes around this level. Oops. Okay, so a short there does make sense. Tight stop loss. I wouldn't place it above the wick because it's very wide. But again, stop loss is wide here. It's like 6%, $11. So go in light at entry, and then DCA probably at resistance here. Sorry, one sec. Okay. And then stop loss above. I wouldn't place it again. I wouldn't place it above the wick, but somewhere above there. And then another lower high, and then short that shit further down. Now again, March 1st, we have an unlock coming. So, $2 billion is going to get unlocked. We might get a rally up until the unlock, but, selling pressure is still going to continue. And, like I don't see Sol performing well compared to, say, Bitcoin or ETH over the next coming weeks to months. I think if we go further down, Sol is going to get a harder hit to the downside. All right. So let me share this. And this short is also in my channel. It's given. I'm going to be taking the same exact one. It was something like that. But you guys can find that in my channel. This isn't the exact setup. The exact setup that I'm taking is given in my channel. All right, but it's this area. Okay. Now let's take a look at the ES. Okay, the S&P. Now, I mentioned this in my update video, right? The weekly bearish div is still playing out. Okay, we haven't completely lost it yet. The last time we had a weekly bearish div, Bitcoin, like this is the trajectory that I drew a while ago. It's scary and playing out. Took this from here, okay? But the bearish div did play out on Bitcoin, okay? Price was making higher highs. RSI made lower highs, and same thing is happening here on ES. Price is making higher highs, RSI is making lower highs. We have the same exact structure as we did on Bitcoin before it broke down. Now, if this is an indicator of what's to come in the crypto markets, then it's going to most likely pull down crypto with it as well. All right. Now, the other thing is maybe it's inversely correlated because while the dollar was going down, where is it? While the dollar was going down this whole entire time, right, risk on assets, at least the crypto market, was going down with it, which is peculiarly odd. All right, usually when the dollar is bearish, risk on assets are bullish. Stocks were going up during this time, but crypto was going down. All right, maybe this time if stocks go down, we've already been hit so much, so it's a lagging indicator that funds or profits are flowing out of the stock market and hopefully into the crypto market. We don't know yet. Now, as we get closer and closer to summer, summer is usually a dry time for crypto. Everyone's on vacation, but um, keep that in mind that if we do break down here, profits or people are going to be selling maybe out of the stock market and into the crypto markets. All right. I honestly have no idea what's going to be happening in the markets anymore. It's literally news after news. I don't know what Trump is going to say. I don't know what the next major event's going to be. But it's getting tiresome, and there's not one person that I know that I respect as a trader in my inner circle and private circle that has an idea of what's going to happen within the next 2 to 3 weeks, right? We've been calling for alt season. We've been calling for local bottoms, but there's always that one thing that comes and just completely screws the market, all right? So when I see headlines like, and I'm guilty of it as well when I put out my YouTube videos, but in that moment, it honestly looks like it's going to happen, right? But when we're talking about, alt season for the 15th, 14th, thousandth time happening, it's just not going to to happen. All right, so until we are proven that we're going to go higher, this is a lower high season, meaning you're going to short every major pump at levels of resistance, right? Like people that I know in other servers right now, we had a huge drop on Sol, and they're trying to short every like $2 move up, and they think it's like, oh, it's overextended for them, we have to go dip more. Like, buddy, we just fell $30-40 in a matter of a day. Okay, so I do believe that we get some relief here in the markets, but again, until we have a break of structure to the upside, this is a lower high season, and you should be shorting the markets. All right. I've spoken about politics. My Twitter is literally for shit posting politics, but I'm just gonna take a little break. Too many keyboard monkey warriors out there who will never say anything to my face, but it is what it is. So yes, Sui is another coin that I'm interested in. Okay, I drew this last night when I was deep in the fields, drinking beer, pondering about life and crypto. um, okay, so if we take this extended trend line, I'm not taking it from here. I don't know what that was, but here up until there, we bounced again from this trend line. All right. Now the difference between this bounce here and this bounce here is now we have created the head and shoulders pattern. Okay. We have not had a close. One sec. Let me delete these. I'm no longer in this coin. We have not had a close below this level, but right here's the daily possible rejection point. So if we close the daily below here, it does make sense to possibly short. However, we just had, yesterday we plummeted, from the highs to the lows about 23%. All right. I do think that this looks like a potential reclaim of this range, just like Bitcoin and ETH had. Okay, so getting back above this level is again another deviation type trade, back to the range high levels, and your potential play would look something like this. Now we have the mid-range level, probably there. Let me draw this up. I just on daily. So there's the range high, there's the mid-range. So shorting at the mid-range does make sense if we get it. Okay, this is a pretty volatile coin. I mean, you guys saw the high time frame bounce to the level, so it's been easy to trade compared to a lot of other stuff. I would probably short it. The risk to reward isn't there. And then obviously if we get back to range highs, these will take a little bit longer to get to. Now lower time frame, like ETH, right? Like that deviation on ETH, a possible move to another lower high area for this does make sense. But again, this is a 1 hour chart compared to the daily. If we reject on the daily, right, we have that rejection of the inverse head and shoulders, but a move to there does make sense. Now, if I were to draw fibs and pretend that this is our, this is our bottom currently, and this is our local highs, then a move to this area could be a potential play for a long. Okay, this is on my radar, but a setup like that would be viable as well. Now, it can easily go back down to make a double bottom and bounce again from this trend line, but higher low at that point, you could set limit orders and hopefully you get a nice scalp from it. Let me go back and get these. Okay. I'll do one more. Yeah, Tau was the other coin that I was going to be looking at. This was one coin that TA has been perfect. And I think it's one of the strongest coins. It always rebounds hardest when we do pump. So Tau is one coin that I think that most people should have in their short-term bags. In terms of leverage, it's a little hard to trade leverage right now, but also it's very frustrating to hold these coins and they keep going lower and lower. But having a one or two short-term conviction coins is good. And my short-term conviction coin was Litecoin before the market completely fucked it up. So I'm still holding Litecoin. That's why I haven't really sold it yet, because I still do have conviction of this ETF narrative and an XRP type run. But until it loses that that high time frame level for me, I'm not looking to cut it yet. What is your view on memes on chain like BRC20 or Base? Seems different than Sol. So, what, like virtuals on Base? BRC20, I've never once looked at it in my life. I lied. Ruins, there was a time where I did ruins and stuff, but like coins on Base and stuff, I've never looked into it personally. I just don't have the time to learn something like Base, and I know it's pretty simple, but I just don't have time. But I do think eventually, we will pivot from Sol meme coins into other more reliable, not reliable, but like newer chains where money is going to flow to. Now, Base could be one of them. BRC20 could be one of them. I don't know that ecosystem compared to Base. The only reason I know Base is because one of the other servers that I'm in is like all low cap Base coins, which is not how I do it. But I do think Base could have, if the market survives, a nice run with their coins. BRC20 older, so I don't really go there. But like you want like in a uptrend, you want to focus on the new shiny things, and Base is that new shiny thing. Yeah, rats. Rats is ruins, right? It's a ruins token. Sats, rats. Dot's a shitcoin. Dot probably goes to 0. Polkadot is a terrible chain. You guys want to focus away from 2-cycle, 3-cycle coins. You want to focus on coins with actual um, you know advancements in the space. BTC dominance. Yeah, Toshi's base. So BTC dominance looks like it possibly put in a double top. Okay, but a double top's a double top once the neckline is lost. So here's a clear range. You want this to be lost, and then yes, alts will run a little bit, but again, at this point, if alts run, we're gonna go back to fucking 3-week prices, right? So like everyone's expecting alts to do 4x, 5x from prices that were like 3 weeks ago. But even if alts run here, we're gonna go back to those prices of 3 weeks ago. All right, but dominance did reject. Looks like a potential double top, but for a double top to form, you need the neckline to be lost, and that neckline's around 60.5 percent, which would also be a loss of this trend line that we've had since December. So we need all that to happen for alts to actually get a lift off. All right. Now high time frames such as the weekly Yeah, that looks disgusting. I think we're due for a break of this, but time and time again, even if we've lost this trend line here, we've just reclaimed it and went higher. This is a Bitcoin market. Alts won't really do well this cycle compared to the previous cycles, and focus will just be on Bitcoin, in my opinion. So you want to focus on high cap coins, which is why I said, choose 3 coins and just focus. And those 3 coins that I cover in every single video are Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol. I don't really look at others, but USDT dominance. Okay, USDT dominance is at resistance here. Now a reclaim of this level would send it much higher, right? We had a bull flag that formed and targets hit perfectly. So I'm looking for, hopefully, a close below this level. We already rejected this resistance, which is why, alts are running a little bit. But if we get above 5%, we're kind of screwed. All right. High time frame double bottom did its job. But if we get above this 5%, then I honestly don't see us stopping until we get to 6%, which would coincide with Bitcoin going to 74, 73K. There are people that think, Bitcoin dominance goes to 66%. I can see it. Do I believe it? Yes, but not now. I don't see dominance going to 66% just now. We will eventually go to those highs, just like, when we had huge moves to 70% and then, our lows. So I do think 66% is going to be the case. And eventually, as we progress later on in the cycle and even the bear market, Bitcoin dominance will go higher than 70, 80%, in my opinion. Ondo. So structurally, right, this could be a higher low, but like, yes, within these impulses, you do have a break of structure. Let's go to the daily really quickly. This looks like an 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fucking A, where are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What just, oh, whatever. A, B, C. We should pump from here. We didn't sweep the lows. But did we put in equal bottoms? No, not yet. We should pump. We had a nice 10% move. But again, all reliant on Bitcoin and what it does. But just like there's nothing. There's just like, I mean, this cluster is the only thing that we have outside of this wick. So I just don't know above what level is a clean long. If we are to pump, it's from here. I mean, we can go to a lower time frame. Yeah, like I don't like these same type of structure, right? Come back down probably along like that. Higher low and then go higher. Can easily come actually down and make a double bottom. But if this hour closes, then we've taken out these highs. So yeah, maybe going back down there makes sense. If we close like this, maybe a small SFP type trade closes in 10 minutes. But again, I don't like the risk to reward there. Something like that. Short that area if we get it though. BNB. BNB swept these lows. Hmm. Not a clean long. Again, we have to go to a lower time frame because we just had these big moves. Again, everything is going to look probably the same. Maybe something like that. But again, all these charts are going to look the same, right? Because we have that reversal. So we can either make a lower high, or we go and make a double bottom, or we just completely break down again. But that's what I'd be looking at, and possibly be looking at a short. Now these are scalps because they're on the 1 hour time frame. Something like that. Okay, that was a third ENA, so let's take a look at ENA. Did someone give ENA? No divergence. But you have clear resistance there. Hmm. Yeah, China lost a lot a while ago. This one's a risky short. Let me go to. Yeah, I guess we can. Possibly a short there. A risky one, because, like you said, it's been relatively strong compared to everything else. But it's at resistance right now. I think there are better setups in this one. I don't like these wicks. It makes it harder to trade. But I do think, I mean, you have a possible inverse head and shoulders here as well. So breakout, retest, then you could long. But I just don't. I think there are better coins to trade. Otherwise, if that doesn't happen, just trying to find some type of confluence to take a trade here. Yeah, there's demand zone there. these wicks, dude. Entry, DCA. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think they're better coins to trade, better setups. Fuck this coin. Fuck anything that Trump has touched. There's a reason we've gone down. Everything he's bought has been demolished. Bought ETH. He bought Sol. He bought this coin. He bought AVE. I don't think he bought Tau. That's why Tau is so strong. I'm done touching Sol on spot. 100% done. I don't want that shitcoin in my fucking portfolio ever again. Let's take a look. Tau. I didn't go over Tau. Let's do this again. 1 sec. I mean, I can see a bullish point of view and a bearish point of view, right? Like this could be another higher low. Okay, but also this could be a little bear flag. So I'm saying like no one has an idea of what is happening. But let's pretend that this is bullish. Let's remove my little squiggles. Okay. So every time we've deviated back under here, and let me zoom out and show you what this level is. Okay. Support, right? Huge deviation above, we went higher. Right, again, deviation went a little bit higher, deviation went a little bit higher. Now we are on that level currently, but reclaim this trend line. Now again, everything is reliant on what Bitcoin's going to do, but this would be your setup most likely. If you have the risk tolerance, you can place it below the wicks, just go in with smaller size. Okay. And you're going to be targeting this little supply and order block for about a 2-hour trade. But if it continues to go higher, yeah, strong resistance there. But I think it rejects here for you to take a quick scalp trade. But the main resistance comes here, and obviously there. I do think, you know, if the market bounces, 1 sec, let me check the BTC pairing really quickly. Ooh. Ooh, potential double bottom. This looks good. If Bitcoin doesn't fuck it up. Yeah, I think if the market bounces, you know, we have the a bullish engulfing candle, right? This is the candle that I was talking about, this butterfly candle. I want to see that on ETH. Wow, we just completely retraced the whole 1K move. But above this level, looks good for 410 again. So this would be the setup. Now lose that level, then honestly, we go to test that support at 350. I wouldn't set limit order there, only because at that point, right, we have lost this and it's a bear flag, and the target for this bear flag comes around technical targets, like 260. Right, so this is our, line in the sand currently. We need to get above this and do something like this, then go higher. Okay, good question. So Bad Illusion, you just brought something up. So during other bull cycles, we got 30% dumps on Bitcoin as well from the top, 109K, 30%. So watch this. And I gotta head out soon. I gotta go pick up my dog from the vet. But let's look at how low Bitcoin has dropped from, the highs to the lows of last cycle. Okay, so of 2 cycles ago, okay, we dropped 84%. Right. Last cycle, from highs to lows, we dropped 77%. So it's getting smaller and smaller as we go up. Now, if we apply the same exact method here, then a drop of, and we reduce it just by the same amount, 7%, okay, the lowest we should go is going to be around 32%, right? Now, it doesn't mean we can't go a little bit higher. We can go to 45, but if we just take fractals from previous cycles, then that's how low we should go in the bear market, right? Now, recently, and I've mentioned this in my video as well, tops usually end with a rising wedge structure, okay? You can take a look at it here on a lower time frame. Here is a rising structure. Here is a rising structure, rising structure. Now, this one did give a 30% dip, okay? And here is a rising structure. So if we are going to dip, and here is from highs till now, if we go further down, that level is around that 74K level, okay? Which also coincides with what I drew here, okay? This was taken from, where's the forecasting? From here, okay? Whoa, wrong one. Don't want a dildo on my screen. Okay. So if we take this and place it here, right? We could possibly go down to test this level by summer if we continue to go down. Okay, that will be the 30% drop. Is it possible? Yes, absolutely. But like it could take some time. So why is these dumps didn't see that 30%? Yeah, again, it could not be over. We can still get it. It just takes longer. This one took from highs down to lows, what, 5 months? So here, January, let's say we go through April, 3 months. So I don't think it's over, but I also could be wrong. All we have to do is get above 100K and we go to new highs, in my opinion. I'm not touching this chart. I just want to see it play out. Okay, I got one more and then I gotta go. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go pick up my dog from the vet. Someone wished death upon my dog, and if I ever saw that person, and it's someone here hiding behind an alt. Lost my shit last night. Okay, so Ave put in an SFP. I don't think we're gonna close below this on the daily. So, like I've shown multiple times before, SFPs usually go to the upside, but I don't like yesterday's candle. So, you could possibly take a trade as such. We need to get above this level here. Go to a lower time frame. So we have a lot of work to do, but this would most likely be the setup on Aave if we can get a maybe a little bit higher. If we get a daily closure. It's just I think there are better like whatever coin that was ENA. There's nothing really between here and there, so it's a harder coin to trade, and this coin piggybacks off of ETH. So if ETH moves up, this will as well. But I just think there are better coins with better setups than Aave. I don't really see anything else. If we get back to here, it is a short with stops probably somewhere above here. Back down unless we reclaim this level, which ETH probably has to go to 2850. I don't see any strong reasons to take longs on this. But I'll share this here. Fibonacci settings. I wouldn't fuck with the American Disabilities Act. ADA is a garbage coin. Tau, yes, I do like Tau. RSI for Tau. Yeah, it's deeply oversold. Yeah, we have to. I mean, like this has to bounce. Whenever we've gotten this low, we've bounced, right? Whenever we've gotten to like 30 or below 30, it's bounced. I want a clean 50 RSI reset though. We just don't. 4 hour looks better. Yeah, I saw the bearish dip. That's why I said, which also coincides with the bear flag, which is like why different perspectives is great, right? Someone can see higher lows. You could see both bear flag and an uptrend. So very, very risky. That's why like this one would be more of a confirmation type play. Otherwise, like I said, we go down to that 260 level. But I see that bearish div on the daily. Boom, 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 boom. 250 for Tau, probably, yeah. Do you see ETH at 1800, 2100? Yeah, if Bitcoin continues down, then yes, ETH will go down to the 18. We can't if we lose 2100, then we will see 1800. Okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna stop recording here.